Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Alright, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to calculate risk and return for single asset part 2. Okay, so these are the formula to calculate the expected return and standard deviation for the case of with and without probabilities. Okay, so in the last video, I've shown you how to calculate the expected return and standard deviation for the case of with probability. Okay, where the R cap is equal to sum of Ri is the annual rate of return times with PI. Okay, the PI is the probability. So normally the PI is given in the question. Okay, next, the standard deviation is equal to square root sum of Ri minus R cap, Ri annual rate of return minus R cap expected return square times with PI, probability. Okay, now let's continue with the case of without probability. Okay, so if you can see here, the formula is quite similar. Okay, for the case of with and without probability, cuma at the back ni saja yang berbeza. Okay, so for the case of expected return, kalau ada probability, you times with PI. If there is no probability, we just divided it by N. Okay, which is the N is the number of observation. Okay, next for the standard deviation, alright, square root sum of Ri minus R cap square, sama juga. Here we divided it by the N, number of observation. Okay, so this is the example for the case of without probability. So the question is extracted from your manual on page 15. Okay, assume that you are given the following information on annual rates of return for a common stock listed on the Bursa, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. Okay, so given here the year 2014, 15, 16, 17 and 18. Okay, and then the annual rates of return. Okay, so we know that the annual rate of return is the RI. Okay, so let's calculate. Okay, so to calculate the expected return, sum of Ri, meaning to say here you have to total up all the Ri. So 7 plus 11 minus 4 plus 12 minus 6. We divided it by 5. Why 5? Because ada 5 years dekat sini. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So here is the number of observation, 5 years. Okay, so the total of Ri ni tadi yang ni lah. Okay, 7 plus 11 minus 4 plus 12 minus 6. Okay, divided by 5 years. So that's why here you get it 4% expected return. Okay, and then for the standard deviation, square root sum of Ri, annual rate of return, minus R cap, expected return. Okay, square, and then we divided it by N, number of observation. Okay, so here 7 minus 4 expected return square plus 11 minus 4 square plus negative 4 minus 4 square plus 12 minus 4 square plus negative 6 minus 4 square, and then we divided it by 5. Okay, and then, don't forget to put the square root. Okay, barulah you akan dapat the answer for the standard deviation. Okay, 6.16%. Okay, that's all for this video, but I advise you to try to calculate it by yourself. Okay, try. Try maksudnya bagi masuk I kat sini, try. Ambil calculator, you tekan masuk calculator tu nak tengok you work out tu macam mana, dapat tak the same answer. Okay, alright, so that's all for this video. Okay, next I'm going to give you a tutorial for you to try. Okay, that's all. Assalamualaikum.